Hey guys, so I had a big revelation. I was lying in bed this morning, and quite often things come to me when I'm in the bath or in the shower, or if I'm in that space in the morning. You know, when you don't have an alarm, you don't have to get up and you're sort of snoozing, dozing, maybe your alarm hasn't gone off yet, and thoughts start to trickle in. And I want to share it with you. This is the magic of the astrology journey. I have been living and breathing astrology for like a decade, and still I see things in a different light one day, and it changes everything. So I shall bring up my chart because it's the easiest way to see it so that I can show you. So you see up at the top here, this is my moon. This is the sign of Leo, and this is my moon. So the moon is often related to how we were nurtured by our female caregiver, normally the mother. It's how we nurture other people. It's how we are as like a child, like as a young child up to the age of around 8 years old. We kind of are the moon. And for me, I dressed in bright clothes. I would wear fluorescent colors. I would wear rah-rah skirts and odd socks and sing and dance. And then when I was about, I don't know, about 8 years old, maybe, I moved school from somewhere that was quite in a rundown area to somewhere that thought it was a bit better than everybody else. And they didn't like me. They didn't like me very much. They didn't like the headmaster who came from my school with me. And they didn't like how bright I was. They didn't like him, the headmaster, but they couldn't take it out on him. So they took it out on me. So I was sort of ostracized. And slowly, my Leo moon learned it was unsafe to shine. Leo is seen and heard and bright and loud and proud. And that's what in the 11th house, that's community. That would be, the people that I socialized with at the time, and I'm out in the big wide world, and I was made to feel ashamed. And you'll see there's a red line there going to Pluto and Saturn. So this is in the house of self-worth, the second house. Pluto is a difficult thing that leads us to transform later in life. And Saturn is our biggest life lesson. It's also restriction and structure. So the school restricted me through the children and how they behaved and squashed me. And I stopped being bright. I stopped being loud and confident and proud. And it was really hard. So these are in the signs of Libra and Scorpio. So Libra is I'm not perfect enough to be worthy, second house. And Scorpio is that there's things wrong with me, I can't be myself because people will see my shadow side, and that makes me bad. That makes me unworthy. And that has been a lesson I have lived with for my whole life since then. And it's kind of held me back. And then you'll see another red line going over here to Mars in the fourth house, Capricorn. So Capricorn is the father, the fourth house is the home, and Mars is drive or anger. So because I was having a difficult time up here in the moon in my school and I was being squashed, I was also getting angry at home. I was also playing up at home. I was giving back talk. I was getting frustrated. And so my dad came back hard, and so there became this sort of battle within the home environment. So I've got the Mars restriction at home trying to pull me into place. I've got the moon wanting to shine bright, but being restricted as well. They're both being restricted by this Pluto and by this Saturn. And that's a remembrance. That's a remembrance of who I really am, what happened to me. You can literally put your finger on your birth chart and say, that is what happened to me. Not in a blame way, not in a finger pointing way, but aha, you can journal on this. You can voice note yourself about this. You can voice note a friend about this. And when you discover keys like this on your birth chart, why am I not shining as bright as I can? Well, it looks like it's to do with that moon. So what is holding that back? It's the perfectionism. It's feeling like if I'm not perfect, then I'm not safe to be seen. I'm feeling that Mars energy where I was punished as a child for playing out because I felt so restricted. I felt so trapped. So I just wanted to share that coming up for me, maybe you have had a similar experience. I invite you to have a look at your moon. Look at your moon sign. That is who you were as a child. That is who you were up until the age of about 7 or 8, and it is your inner child. So, did you express the energy of that sign in a healthy way? Did you repress that sign because it felt like it wasn't safe? Maybe you did a bit of both, like me. You can reclaim that part of yourself, feel confident enough to, you know, have a sign saying, yes, I'm a witch, which isn't really what a lot of people think it is. I'm a healer, I'm a space holder. And just being your truth and living your truth, that really does lie not completely, but a lot with your moon. So if you're not sure, you can pop your moon sign in the comments. Let me see them. Let me know where you want to be seen, where you want to shine, where you want to express your inner child essence. So yeah, I hope that helps. I hope it helps to see everything on the chart, and I will see you again very soon.